Well, good morning everyone. Welcome back to the channel. So it's that time of year again. Time to get the combine ready. So last video, I think it was the last video, a couple videos ago, I don't remember. We got this thing out of the shed. We have our raccoon issue. We filled it back up with antifreeze, got those hoses fixed. So got it moved over here. We did fix a couple things already, changed a couple chains, adjusted the clean grain and the tailings chain, and that's about it. Started kind of taking stuff apart. We just got our parts yesterday. Deer Tech came out and inspected it a couple weeks ago and got a pretty good bill of health. Not too much wrong with it, so I'm glad for that. Didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on it because we spent a lot of money on this combine last year. So here's our pile of parts, a few belts, a couple bearings. This is a piece of poly that goes in the top of the clean grain elevator. And then in this box is the loading auger tube. So that is the auger that goes into the grain tank, fills the grain tank up. It was starting to get worn out, so we're gonna replace that. So I think I'm gonna start with the easy stuff first, work on some of these belts. All right, so it's looking like 3 belts. It says clean grain, tailings, and right hand countershaft belt. So I'm gonna have to figure out what those are. I think this is that long one on this side here. You got to take everything apart to change it, I believe. Maybe not. Maybe it's that one. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure this out. Well, that would be the tailings belt. So I know that one. Clean grain belt. That would be the shoe drive belt, I think. Where would this long one go? Oh, it's this one. Okay, it goes up in the top. On the top of the clean grain. And then what was the other one? Right hand counter shaft. Would that be that one? That's the counter shaft. I'm gonna have to do some thinking. I think I figured it out. Right hand counter shaft belt is the one that goes around that pulley, and it goes back around this big guy here. You probably can't see that. Clean grain belt goes all the way up top. It's this one here that kind of loops around, goes all crazy. And then the easy one is tailings belt. It just goes whoop, right like that. So normally I would start with the easiest one, but that's not always the best case scenario because some of these belts, you can't get them on unless you take other ones off. That one looks like it's the farthest back. So I think I need to do that one first. I'm gonna get a flashlight up there and climb up there and see what we got. All right, I think I figured it out. So there's a gigantic pulley back here. It's like 2 feet in diameter. And I gotta be honest, I didn't even know that was back there. But it drives this, which drives the clean grain and the tailings. So, gotta pop it off behind here, see if I can get it out of there. This might not be easy. I don't know. Okay, there's that end. There it is. Go grab the new one. Okay, I just nailed my head on the gullwing door. So, slip this back here. See if I can get this in here. I don't want to count my chickens before they're hatched, but this actually might go pretty smooth. Maybe I should have done this in first. I hope this is the right belt. It seems kind of tight. I think I need to loosen this tensioner some more. This is gonna be a long clip. I'm already at 4 minutes. All right, pause. I gotta get a wrench. All right, I got that loosened. That just shows you how much these belts stretch. Because was able to get the old one off without it being that loose. But man, I got it way loose and I still can't get this one on. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to take this all the way off. Okay, spring is completely off and it is down as far as it will go. There. Now I will reassemble this and put it back together. There. All right, and I'm already sweating. Did one belt. All right, the next belt we're gonna change is this clean grain elevator belt. We'll have to go up top and figure out what we have to take apart up there. I know we did this on our old combine one time and we didn't have it quite on all the way at the top, and as soon as we started the machine up, it shredded the belt. Brand new belt. So we're gonna try and not do that this time. All right, let's see what we got up here. I need that impact with a 13 on it. My 3/8 impact's on that cart. Just get a 13 for it. Yeah. I think I gotta take this shield off and then it should be in there. Can't remember how to do this. There's something you gotta loosen up here.
No, I don't think so. I think you just gotta pull it up and take it off. And then push it through. Does it go around the backside too?
It goes this way. Somehow. Alright, so this belt kind of wraps around this pulley and goes to another pulley in here, which runs the gearbox for this auger that fills the grain tank. So I think I need to take this pulley off and get it out of the way so I can get in there and get the old one off, new one on, and then put this back on after the fact. Yikes. See in there now. This will be fun. we figured it out. There's another panel you can take off to access that pulley. So there's the old one. There's the new one. I'll have to fish it out. Some. Okay. Now,
So the top one goes over that, right? Top.
yeah. So we got. Jeez. Stand up. We gotta pull it up. It goes around this one and then back around like that. So I don't know if it'd be easier to hook it on the top and then put that pulley back on. Probably.
And I can hold it up.
Now we got to figure out how it gets routed down here.
It goes around this and back over.
Oh, okay.
So it goes around.
So you got to pull it up around through here.
It goes over that pulley.
Okay.
There's one in the back.
Just gotta bend it in here. Now what?
I gotta have it this way. It comes off of it that way. Keep pulling it this way.
Might have to loosen the tensioner all the way because it's the old one probably stretched. Where's that one at?
It's down here.
Oh, okay. All right, we got that belt on. That was fun. I'm glad I waited on this one because you got to put that one on inside of there. So this will be the last belt. I'm gonna go up top, make sure everything stayed on up there, Here's an 18 ratchet wrench. And he'll get that tightened up. And like I said, on our old combine, we had it come off on the top and it shredded the belt immediately. So we want to make sure everything stays in place. And then once we get it tight, we can put all of our covers back on. It's all good to me. Yep. That's back together. I'm going to throw this auger cover back on. And that part of the job will be done. Let's see if I can do this by myself. For my next trick, I'm going to try to replace this poly wear plate. Let me get on the other side so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so looks like 2 bolts, 2 bolts, 1 bolt. Shouldn't be too bad. Glad I brought a wrench. Those are not carriage bolts. Are you kidding me? That's a 16. Ah. Guess I'm gonna have to get 16mm wrench. All right. Almost had every tool I needed. Look at that. Row. Drop the nut. See, warp through. All right, now I gotta find that nut that I dropped. There it is. Got it. Last one. Alright, continuing with our theme of working inside the grain tank, we're going to start taking this auger apart. So, got to take the auger out of the tube and then take the tube off. Put the new tube on and then put the new auger in. They also sent us this bearing new. Probably not a bad idea while we're up here. So, that being said, Dad's going to grab some tools and start tearing stuff apart.
down and put it all together.
Yeah. Have to move all
Put what
latches
we
and
gotta
stuff.
put on, and then we can bring it back up.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
Here's the shiny new one. We're talking about putting a piece of, they make like a poly sleeve that goes on the inside. We're just trying to decide if we want to do that before we put it in there, because that will extend the life of it a lot more.
Okay, hold it there.
I got it.
Let me see if I can get up there and pull on it. You got it?
Yeah, I got it. This and this. Put that in there.
Next one down. Yep. Okay, this one.
It goes out like this.
Okay, yep. Okay, I need these flange bolts. There should be 3 of them. I think we're gonna have to loosen that and tip it, or undo that and hold the end.
You wanna
Because I can't get these lined up
Okay.
without, because it's pushing down.
Cross-threaded that first one. Got that replaced. We're gonna leave the auger out for now till we get that liner in, and then we also got to replace this bearing. I don't know if it's bad, but might as well replace it while we got it out. Alright, let's go in the office and look at our list, see what kind of progress we made. So, we did the loading auger tube, the tailings belt, clean grain belt, counter shaft belt, and clean grain poly. So all we got left is the discharge beater bearings and the rotor cover seals. They forgot to order those when we got all of our parts. So those should be in Monday, and the auger tube poly, I'm gonna add that to the list. Tube liner. should be in on Monday too, so we'll probably finish it up then. All right, it's the next day. The next thing we're gonna work on here on the combine is we're gonna change this bearing and the same one on the other side. That is the bearings for the discharge beater. I'll show you that in here. So in the back of the combine, right there, there's a drum with teeth on it, and it spins and it just kind of accelerates the straw and chaff and stuff as it comes out the back of the machine, just to keep it flowing. And the guy who inspected our combine said that he didn't think the bearings were out, but he thought they sounded a little noisy. So here's the one on the other side. There is a big pulley that goes on here. It's right there. I took that off the other day. That's what drives this, so I should be able to pop that off, pop the bearing out. Hopefully it all comes apart fairly easy, and then we can put that back together. All right, so I got this. This is a lock collar off of here. That actually came off easy. I wasn't expecting that. Now I should be able to get these bolts out. Let's see, that one. Okay, so those two come off first, then this plate comes off, then those two. Okay, got the nuts off. So the problem that I'm gonna have is these are carriage bolts. So I might have to wait for Dad to get back, because someone's gonna have to hold those from the inside most likely, because they're gonna fall through. Wait a minute, there might be spring clips. That would make my life a lot easier. I think there's clips in there that hold those. Okay, so I helped Deer Mechanic do these bearings on our old combine, and I had to crawl in there and hold the bolts in while he put everything back together on the outside. So I'm gonna see if I can get that tore apart. The bearing might be kind of stuck-ish. We'll get that apart and see what we got. Well, here's where we're at. So that bearing does not want to move, which I kind of assumed that was going to be the case. So I tried heating it, but then I lit that wire loom on fire. So scratch that idea. Tried hitting it from the inside with the air hammer. There's not really enough room to get in there. So I started tearing the outside of the bearing apart and got it down to just the center. I thought maybe I could get a puller on here, but the puller I have is too big and won't fit in the hole. Also, I need some help holding it up because it's fallen down to the bottom, and I need to get that centered. So I don't know if I try and heat this, so get the whole thing hot and then pull it off, or what I should do. I also am still waiting on Dad to get back, so I'm kind of limited on what I can do. Dropped a bolt. I should pick that up before I forget about it, but we'll get it. I've got a frog in my throat. We'll get it. Just got to keep working at it, I guess. All right, so now it's day 3 of working on this. We called it for the other day. We needed a better die grinder, so I went to Farm and Fleet to buy one that they said they had in stock online. But when I got there, they didn't have it. So went to Harbor Freight, bought some cheap junk, and we actually got one side off. So now we're working on this side.
It's on.
Yeah.
Before we even start.
We're gonna make sure the hose is on. Yep, it's on. We gotta blow the sparks into the machine on this side, so we don't want to burn it down.
You know what? Well, that'll be all right.
We got this side bearing in, and we lost the other bearing. Don't know what happened to it. And then Dad remembered that his dog took off with something. I think the dog walked off with the bearing.
Okay. Yep. I gotta guess one. Wait a minute. I got it right.
I'm gonna climb up in here and measure both sides to see if we got it centered. I don't know how critical it is, but we don't want it off centered at all. Where's my light? So we are 7/8 over here. Over here, we're like a 1/2 inch. So we need to move over to the west a little bit. I wonder if I can pry it. It moved, probably too much. Okay, so we are, what would that be? Oh, this is one of those smart tape measures. I can't read it that much on that side. 5/8. Oops. On this side we are a little bit more than 5/8. I'm afraid if I try to move it again, it's going to go too far. It might be good enough. Yeah, I probably better try and go a little bit. See, it's just springing. I think it's all the way up against on that side. Yeah, it's up against the flange on that side. Well, we're going to call that good enough. So now that we have the bearings changed, we got to put the drive pulley back on. Pretty simple. Put this hub on the shaft and then the pulley over there bolts onto this hub. Should be relatively easy. You got to take this big nut off, and I got it jammed on there because I was smacking that with a hammer. So I'm gonna have to get the impact and get that off. Battery's running out, or I think my light's running out of battery. Stop spinning. That's not good. I need to find some gloves. That. All right, was there a washer? Yes. Impact. There it is. Mechanic just showed up to inspect our draper and our corn head. We don't usually get those inspected, but they had a promotion where if you pay for a combine inspection, you get 2 free header inspections. So we figured we might as well if it's included. Oh, that's not lined up. Stay. I gotta grab the bolts. Better hit those with the big impact. This one doesn't have the oomph that the big one does. Don't want that to fall off. All right, I think that's gonna just about do it for this video. pretty much all we got left is change oil, put all the belts back on that the inspector took off, tighten up some pulleys, chains, make sure all that's good, put shields back on, and this thing should be ready to go. Our plan is to get this done and get it out of the shop, put it back in the shed at Grandma's so it's out of the way so we can work on a few other things. But yeah, pretty easy. What am I trying to say? Not a whole lot to change on this combine so far. One thing I did want to point out, I have some new merch. This is one of my shirts, Farmers Against Weed. That is our Rogator on there. I think it's kind of clever. If you want to check out some of my new merch, there's a link in the description. I don't even know the website, so I can't tell you, but I'll put it in here in the video when I'm editing. But yeah, harvest is coming soon. I think probably 2 to 3 weeks we could be cutting some beans. So pretty excited. I think we're gonna have a pretty good crop this year. Excited to see what we got. So that's it for this. We're gonna keep working on some stuff, getting stuff ready. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.